What up, everybody? Welcome back. We are at it today. We're out in the shop, and we're not messing with the Mustang. I'm sure you're excited about that. We are messing with the budget car. I had a couple guys actually tell me like they were sad they haven't seen any budget car stuff lately, so we're gonna do a budget car video. Let me tell you what we're getting into today with the budget car. We've been driving the budget car a little bit on the street here and there. Since I got it licensed, everything's good. It does have a little bit of drivability, tuning issues I need to sort out. But other than that, it's been running and driving good on a safe street tune. Pump gas, nothing fancy. Little breakdown. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this build, you can go back. I'll put a little thing up here in the top corner for previous videos on this build, but I'll give you a quick little rundown. I traded a scooter for this car when I originally got it. We did engine bay paint, rattle can, tractor stuff. This is a budget built engine out of some miscellaneous parts I got given to me. Nip and pistons, eBay Chinese I-beam rods that I know nothing about. I won't say they're eBay. I guess I did get them off eBay. Yeah. So eBay rods, stock head, stock GSR cams, stock springs. I believe they were Brian Crowder chromoly retainers in it because I didn't want to break a stock retainer, which I've done before, and a built motor years ago in the red car. And I didn't want to do that again, so I opted for a chromoly steel retainer. It does have a VS Racing 6162 T3 turbo, Yonaka 3-inch exhaust, Honda S300. It's got boost by gear in it, but I don't have the boost by gear wired up. I've got the solenoid there, just haven't wired it yet. But what we're getting into today is the car currently has a open diff LS transmission. Works good, drives good on the highway, gets really good fuel mileage. We want horsepowers. So here we have, down here on the floor, a GSR transmission with M-Factory diff. I need to open it up, clean out some stuff. It's got some issues. I need to verify the issues. One half of the case is junk, so I got to swap the rear half of the case, get that all sealed up, and we're going to swap this transmission in to this car because we have an event coming up that we're trying to make with this. But I'll tell you a little bit about that later. But let's get into today's video. Let's get this thing up in the air and start yanking the tranny out. I haven't started pulling the transmission out yet. Well, I mean, I kind of started. I had a list of things I needed to do on this, and one of the things I really needed to do was it had one broken front wheel stud and one completely stripped out wheel stud, and I didn't want to race it with 3 studs. So, and they actually probably won't let you race if you pull up and you only have 3 studs or 3 lug nuts on the front. But let me show you what I had to do. So here's the one that's broken. On these, normally, the best way to replace these studs is you got to pull the whole spindle out, press the hub apart with just the hub. But like I said, you have to press all that apart, and it's a real pain in the butt, and then you normally have to replace the hub bearings. I didn't want to do that. I don't have time for that. This one I already replaced. So I notched or cut the backing plate here and here, pulled that off, and then notched it with a flap disc and then a carbide bit, just enough to where I could knock this stud in here. Only downfall is now this stud, this was a used stud out of an old hub, so it had already been pressed in, so the broaching, or like the little splines on it that bites onto the hub when you press it in, were kind of flattened out. So now it kind of, you can feel it wiggles a little bit, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna go through, and I'm just gonna tack weld, put a couple little tacks on the back of that to keep it from moving around. That way when I'm like throwing wheels on or trying to tighten up the lug nuts, it doesn't end up falling out of the back and then not being able to tighten the lug nut up. So I'm gonna do that. But I got this one side swapped out, made sure I could get it in that way. I remembered being able to do that, but it's been a long time since I had to put studs on one of these. So I've got to do the other side as well, and I'll end up having to tack it on also. So I'll get that other side done. But for now, I got to go ahead and finish taking everything apart, get the axles out of it, and then start pulling the transmission out of it, because we've got the LS tranny coming out and we've got this GSR tranny going in. I bought this one knowing it had a diff in it. Somebody's been in it and replaced bearings and stuff in it. You can tell here, like, these are different bearing numbers. That's not a factory thing that I recall. So somebody's put bearings in it. Obviously, you can see down here this little tang's laid over next to that bolt. So they've probably replaced the case bearing down there, which is good. A lot of times these are getting pretty worn out at the age they are. So I went through, pulled the shift change holder out. The shift change holder is known for getting like bent. And I've had a couple of them where I've pulled them apart, and you'll actually see on the base of them where they'll start to split because they've obviously banged the gears too hard, and this tab will start to move, and then you start having engagement issues and stuff. This one didn't have that. I probably should have reinforced it like Speed Factory does on theirs, but I don't really have time to go find material, clean it all up, get all that done, because I have to get this thing together and get it in the car. I've actually got the DLS transmission sold. Guy's supposed to get it today. He's trying to put it in the car tomorrow. Mission buttoned up, get it all sealed back up. Everything looks good in it now. Had a bunch of metal and stuff in it. May have been from a previous build. It did, like when they assembled it, it kind of like knocked the corner of this off, and that's part of the shift change holder. So I've seen people not center this pin up right and then push it in, and it messes up the case. And there's actually metal embedded in this outer diff bearing housing part, and there's no shim in that as well. So I don't know if they set the diff spacing. So that's all stuff I'm gonna have to do. I may end up, well, I probably should have left this out, check the diff spacing before I put it all back together. Yeah, darn it. Anyways, I'm getting too carried away. I'm trying to video all this stuff. So I'm gonna get all this buttoned up, get the tranny out, and we're gonna start swapping it and see if we can get the ball rolling on this for our race that's coming up. Got the transmission all buttoned back up, got the diff spacing set, and it fought me a little bit. Luckily, I had a shim that was gonna get me really close to what factory spec is. It's a little bigger than factory spec, and should be good enough for what we're using it for. Cleaned up really good, super, super clean. GSR trans, in factory LSD, and yeah. All right, so we got the transmission in, got everything buttoned up. I went ahead and put the street wheels back on it so we could go take it for a test drive. So I got to get it down on the floor and fill it up with trans fluid. And I'm going to use, and I've always used this in the past, Valvoline Synchromesh. It's a GM manual trans fluid, but back in the day when I was doing this like stock H pattern stuff with the Hondas, we always used Synchromesh. It always seemed like it worked better. So we're going to throw that in there. And check the oil, because I just changed the oil on it. Double check the torque on all the wheels. And I'll go through. Actually, I've got to fix a coolant leak on the bottom of this radiator real quick too. But I'll get it down the floor, fix this coolant leak, fill up the trans, and then we'll go hop in and take it for a test drive. All right, guys, so we got her fired up. This wideband takes forever to heat up. I may have to put a sensor in this thing. But we're gonna set the camera up, go take this thing for a little test drive, see how it runs with the new GSR training and the LSD. And then we'll take a couple data logs to send to Jamie and see if maybe it's gonna need some work with the new gearing. So anyways, let's hit the road. Before, like cruising on the highway in like 5th gear, this thing would run like, I don't know, 3,400 at highway speed. So now it should be somewhere in the ballpark of like 4,000 ish. So I guess we'll see what it does. Got the oil cap. Son of a... Okay, so we're sitting on the side of the road. Got an oil mess all over the place underneath the hood. I'm like so mad right now. That's what happens when you try and rush stuff. Busting my butt for the last couple days, trying to get this tranny knocked out, sort all that out, get everything buttoned back up, fix some stuff, get it ready for this IFO that we're going to try and go to tomorrow. The weather's supposed to be like shit tomorrow, probably not going to happen. And I'm always super weird, like when I had the car up in the air, I was underneath of it and I was like wiping off some like little residual oil or something that got on the oil pan. I was like, man, I love having just a nice, clean, dry car to work on. And now I've got a car that has oil everywhere, and it's like I just put the transmission and I want to find out if there's any leaks or anything, and now I'm not gonna be able to tell because the whole damn engine bay is covered in oil. So now I'm to a point where I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna load this damn thing up and take it to the track tomorrow because it's probably gonna be leaking oil all over the place. So I was gonna go to the car wash as soon as I get my oil cap here. I was gonna go to the car wash, wash it off. Don't have my wallet on me, still don't have any money. So I'm gonna have to drive back home, get my wallet, drive to the damn car wash. It's probably gonna start raining here pretty soon, as you can tell. You probably can't tell, but it's cloudy out. So I'm just, this is what happens when you rush. Take your time, dot all your I's, cross all your T's. I literally just like went through, I'm like, check this, yep, that's good, let me check the oil. So I checked the oil, I'm like, it's about a half quart low, let me put a half quart in it. Put a half quart in it, I got people talking to me, somebody pulls up to drop off parts. I'm like, man, who's this? I gotta get the car out of the garage, I got it running, don't want to smoke the garage out, so I pull it out of the garage. And I forgot to put the damn oil cap back on. My level of frustration is 3 million. Sounds about right. 3 million. All right, well, the oil cap's back on, and we'll see. And it's, of course, now it's starting to rain. Yep, now it's starting to rain. Go figure. Didn't spin the tires, so that's good. The LSD's doing its job. Before, this thing would just light the tire off of it. If I tried to do like a second gear rip like that, it would just eat the tire. So that's good. Take this back out and make another drive. I don't know why it did that. So that's new. Unless it hits some kind of safety. Only I can think of. I really wanted to put pump in it. I wanted to fix my e-brake here and make it more of a staging brake than an e-brake. So I still need to do that. Still need to clean the engine bay now. So I guess we'll see. All right, so that ends. We got the trans put in the car. It goes through the gears. I got shit on my face. Goes through the gears. Everything works as it should. I still don't know why it cut off and shut off, and I went back and looked at this footage. It didn't necessarily die, it just cut. So I think it hit like a boost cut or something. I don't know what the deal is, but we're gonna get her loaded up, wiped up, clean up the mess underneath the hood, and try and get this thing loaded so we can head to IFO St. Louis. But that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. We'll see you on the next one.